Hey there, everybody. Happy Cinco de Cuatro. It's probably time for me to get at least several hairs cut. But yeah, been a while. Things are busy. Generally, am doing about 1,000 things a day. So I'm sure you fellow gardeners can relate this time of this season. But we've done a thing that I would like to show you. So let's get into that. We are starting out over by the central stairs leading down to the pond area. And in the past, we have talked about desire paths, and I will endeavor to link to that video here. But sometimes our desire paths intersect with other desires, and I think that is a fun little topic to explore briefly. So, in this general curvature of the land here, if you follow this path back, there is another entrance to the woods over there, leading to a second set of stairs. Those are our northernmost stairs and the oldest of the stairways. But in this space, we have been dropping logs and things. Some of this is storm damage that I am just leaving because there have been a number of small birds who have been just really enjoying popping in and out of the brush and doing their thing, poking underneath, having cover and protection while they forage for bits and bobs to make nests and things like that. But in this space, we have also planted some comfreys and some raspberries. The raspberries are down here by my feet. You can see two of the cuttings that we have stuck. They are both doing okay. If I get real close, you can see a little fresh shoot coming up, and those seem happy. We've got a few nine barks. There's one right there next to the comfrey, and another little lilac that I have planted for Nicole, and then another nine bark, a volunteer blackberry. I am unsure if I'm going to leave these in place. And then one more nine bark right over here. And then in this space here, I'll back up a little bit so you can kind of get a sense of it. You can probably assume that the fresh mulch piles are places where I have stuck new plants. And this space has been volunteering some young trees and pushing out the forest's edge. Some of the characters that were here first were some of the autumn olives, like this one here, and this one that I am standing beside. And just to the east of it, you can see part of the uphill food forest. And so in this space, there was a sense that the woods are trying to encroach this way into the lawn, and I want a path that suggests that you can receive bounty by following the edges and heading into the woods. And so what we have done is stick a couple more viburnum varieties. We have nannyberry and a nannyberry. I will put the Latin in here for you. And then this autumn olive, which is one of the delicious ones. This is one of the better tasting ones that I enjoy. And then more and more small trees coming in. We also have some more viburnum varieties. This one is an additional high bush cran and another pollinator partner over here. And so this pathway that leads into the woods, please excuse the staging of yet more fallen debris and things. So this path kind of suggests which way to go. But if we're coming up and we want to explore, what I don't want is people coming through and cutting this way, because the woods are trying to spread. They're trying to bring more woody plant material up this way. And so rather than trying to make this a walking space or fighting against the natural inclination of our landscape. I am instead leaning into that landscape's desire to be a section of more woods, and I am planting in beneficial to us and local fauna plants like these high bush cranberries over here, and just making this pathway a little bit more definite for people so that there's a reason to come the wide way around and walk in the pathways that I have so far designed. And so we're just leaning in. It's a nice little synergy between what I want, which is more fruit plants and more fruit bearing shrubs, and what our landscape wants, which is more wooded space. And so between the nitrogen fixation of the autumn olives, between the fungal associations of the young oaks and maples, and some of the beeches that are coming up, these plants should do pretty well. I'm hoping that, given their nature, the dappled sun that's coming through from some of the storm damage that has been done is hitting these spots a little bit later into the day, which is great, but they're also in that forested edge context that these types of shrubs tend to like. This is also the space that is most impacted by the surface level water stoppage and catchment systems that we have in these raised-ish beds. And so as the water travels down the pathway of this area, it's going to sink and sink and sink. And in this space in particular, it was pretty wet last year. And so my hope is that with these viburnums that like to have a little bit of moisture availability. I mean, every plant likes to have moisture availability, but these seem to like that slightly soggier forest edge context based on my reading, particularly the high bush cranberries. I feel like this is a good situation for them, given that they have the ability to receive all of the subsurface water that is coming down and being caught and slowed, as we know that it blooms and lenses out once it enters the soil profiles. And so that's one of the things that I've been working on. Oh, I should mention, right in here, little white tag, that is wild northern raisin, which is yet another viburnum species. Uh, Going pretty hard on viburnums this year. We have a few boxes way up front that I'm hoping will show up, but sometimes patience is not a virtue that I possess. So we may have jumped the line. Some of you may think that it's kind of cheating to not grow the plants myself, and I, depending on the day, would agree with you. But it feels really awesome to be able to tie what I'd like out of a space into what our landscape is asking for and trying to accomplish. And so we're just leaning into those desires where they match and meet and meld most comfortably. So that is what we are working on at the moment. Not really at this moment. In this moment, I'm working on talking to you all and hoping that you're well. But we'll have a few more updates and a few more things that we're going to be doing with those plants that I just showed you in the near future. But for now, I have about 998 more projects to work on today. So till next time, thanks for watching. Happy planting.